Hi, this is Mike, and welcome back to 5 Minutes of Fantasy Sports. So today I want to talk basketball, and I want to talk about the number one ranked player in basketball, and that man is Steph Curry. And the question is, can Steph Curry keep up this start that he's got going? So let's pull up some stats on Steph Stats, and take a look. So he's currently shooting 452%. Well, 45% from the field. His free throw percentage is 943. He's made 108 three-pointers, which is pretty impressive. The second place guy, Buddy Held, has 86 three-pointers. So he leads the league in threes. He is not leading the league in scoring right now. He has 556 points. The leader is Antetokounmpo with 580. And he's pretty high on assists, but he's definitely not leading. Chris Paul has 213, and James Harden has 196. And then scrolling down a bit, Curry's at 132. Then as far as steals go, he can't compete with Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, who are at 46. But he is at 36, so he's not too far off. And he's actually blocking a lot more shots than I thought possible this season. He's nowhere near the top, but he was at, where did he go? He was at 11 blocks on the season. And he has 64 turnovers, which is high, but it is not near the lead with Russell Westbrook at 108 and James Harden at 105. So anyway, the question is, will Steph Curry, I should have just said Chef Curry because that's his nickname, will he keep cooking at the level he's cooking? Eventually, a guy like Klay Thompson is going to come back, and from what I've seen from Steph Curry, because I have watched a few games, just because he's really exciting to watch when he's going, is he is able to, he's kind of playing the way Klay Thompson plays. He's been coming on and off a lot of screens. A lot of the threes he's made have been off of screens, so he's not really dribbling as much as he used to. And in fact, a lot of the Golden State offense is just, dribbling into a screen, around a screen, through a screen. It's a lot more passing than it is a lot of other things. So they've kind of tailored the offense to really focus on their shooters, and I see it continuing. So I see him having an all-star season, an all-world season, if he keeps up the pace he's going. He's really been cooking on all cylinders, so to speak. So, he's playing great, and his fantasy stats are great, but the question is, should you trade him? At the very top, he's the best player in the league. Could you maybe pull some pretty good talent onto your team that would make up for the difference of Steph Curry? So if you can it's tough in fantasy basketball because Steph Curry performs at the level of like 2 or 3 positions, right? So you have one guy who's getting you stats that usually it takes 2 or 3 guys to get. So if you have a whole team like that, obviously you're going to win a championship, but if your team is Steph Curry and a bunch of, not scrubs, but, average players, you might want to consider maybe trading for 2 or 3 great players. That's an option that's available to you. So, for example, in my league, someone just put some players on the trading block, which is a little used resource in our league, but this person did it. So they announced that this person is putting Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Davis, and Mitchell Robinson up for trade. So would it be worth it for me to trade Anthony Davis and Mitchell Robinson for Steph Curry and some other center that's not as good? All right, this person wants 3 points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. All right, so they're looking to add a center and a shooter. So Steph Curry is the 3-pointer steal guy. He gets more blocks than he should, but I wouldn't call him a blocks person. Anthony Davis, on the other hand, if you look at his stats, he's putting up stats across the board too. He's got 25 points, 7, 8, 10 rebounds, 2, 3 assists, 2, 3 steals, 2, 3, 4 blocks. His free throw percentage is decent, and his field goal percentage is usually pretty good. But is it worth it? And that's the question to ask. I don't see his value going down when Klay Thompson comes back. If anything, it'll space out the floor even more. There's going to be 2 people running around coming off screens, and it's even more for the defenders to try to keep track of and defend. So once Klay Thompson comes back, if he's back to his old self, they're going to be putting up 3-pointers like nobody's business. Jordan Poole's been shooting great from 3. Even Andrew Wiggins has been okay. Looking at his stats, he's putting up 2 or 3 a game on average, it looks like, making 2 or 3 a game, and he's scoring pretty well to boot as well. So I wouldn't trade Steph Curry, just to do the takeaway for it. But, your team, if you have him on your team, you're probably doing pretty well. So you can consider it if you need some depth. The problem is if Steph Curry is your team, there's going to be some weeks where he only plays 2 games. There's possibly going to be some weeks where he misses games as well. So you don't necessarily want your whole team to be revolving around one player. So I would consider trading him for some depth. Get 2 or 3 stars and Steph Curry plus maybe 1 or 2 other of your weaker players to trade. So I see Steph Curry finishing number 1 by far this season. He had an off game just the other night, but that was Phoenix, and they locked him down on defense, which teams have been trying to do all season. It just happened to work yesterday. So yesterday he only scored, once it loads here, yesterday Steph Curry's stat line was, I guess it was Tuesday. So Tuesday, Steph Curry's stat line was, there we go. So he shot 4 for 21 from the field, 3 3-pointers, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. So those numbers are not impressive, but that's few and far between this season. So anyway, my suggestion is hold Steph Curry, trade for crazy value. I think a manager who sees a Steph Curry trade in their inbox would definitely consider it, and they might give you more than you expect right now in the season. So consider it, especially since it's early. You never know what you're going to get. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to everyone tomorrow.